Hi there, my name is Evan Smith, and if your community is struggling with an invasive species problem, you might just have to eat them to beat them. So what are invasive species? Well, they're plants, animals, even fungi that are in an environment that they're not supposed to be in. Typically, they're generalists, meaning they can thrive in a series of different environments and can eat a bunch of different foods. And when they move to a new place and they don't have predators or competitors, they can throw that ecosystem totally out of order. For instance, in the southeast where I'm originally from, bullfrogs are a native species and are an integral part of that ecosystem. But here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I currently live, bullfrogs are considered an invasive species. Both bullfrogs and wild hogs have invaded the western US, and since there are no natural predators to keep these populations in check, their numbers have rapidly increased. There are approximately 5 million wild hogs in the United States. Both species have established populations in the state of New Mexico and are extremely destructive. These invasive species, especially the bullfrog, can push native species to the brink of extinction. For instance, the American bullfrog is decimating the northern leopard frog populations in Colorado and much of the western US. Or in the case of wild hogs, they cause US landowners an estimated $1 billion in property damages each year, according to a Scientific American report. There are many ways to manage these invasive species populations, and often management techniques work best in conjunction with other efforts. One way to limit the population of these species is to eat them. I want to make it clear, though, that eating invasive species is not going to solve the problem. And creating a local market for these species is just one piece of the larger wildlife management puzzle. These management techniques can vary from introducing predators, which is its own can of worms, to elimination efforts, like laying out poison foods, and both can have far-reaching consequences. One big benefit of eating invasive species is that it drops the population without introducing harmful chemicals or new species to the environment. Eat 'em to beat 'em campaigns work best in situations where invasive species have an established population and are most likely not going anywhere anytime soon. Eating these species is more of a mitigation technique, a way to keep the population down. But unfortunately, these efforts do not often eradicate the species from the area. Also, not all invasive species are edible or taste very good. But lucky for us, bullfrogs and wild hogs are delicious, and I'm going to show y'all one of my favorite recipes: smothered wild hog pork chops and fried frog legs with a crawfish frog leg pecan that is bound to have your mouth watering. Get a kill shot.
No shit.
I'm dipping it a little bit into the pecan that I made last night, and this is going to be a crawfish pecan. I've served it on top of rice with my wild hog and fried frog legs with a little side of some cornbread and jelly. Wow. I love frog legs. Wow. That was really good.